Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. How are you? Happy New Year. All right. I am Ebony Davenport and I teach stress management. I show people how to utilize fun management solutions to decrease stress and counter burnout so that we can be happier, healthier, and well balanced. I use over 50 tips, tools, tricks, and techniques to manage stress. But today we're going to talk about stress. What is it? Right? We all have different ideas and different definitions of stress, and there isn't one single unifying definition in the literature. In Eastern philosophy, stress is considered the absence of inner peace. In Western culture, it is considered the loss of control. Stress definitions differ and stresses vary, affect the people's minds and bodies differently. There are 3 steps: appraisal, coping, and adapting. Stress is trying to control anything outside of your efforts. In the stress community, we talk a lot about stress being the relationship between a person's perceptions, needs, and abilities and the condition of the environment. How we perceive control over our environment causes stress because perception is everything. Coping. Coping refers to the cognitive and behavioral efforts to manage, reduce, minimize, master, or tolerate the stressor. There are 2 main types of coping mechanisms. In emotion focused coping, people utilize measures that immediately reduce the impact of the stressor by focusing on their emotions, such as denying its existence or withdrawing from the situation. And problem focused coping, people problem head on, examine the stressor and change it or modify their behavior. Adapting. The adaptive stress process can produce maladaptive or adaptive results. Maladaptive behavior describes behaviors that adapt, modifies, or adjusts poorly, and the behavior produces inappropriate attitudes and undesirable outcomes. Maladaptive coping styles include ignoring the problem and blaming uh, oneself. Adapting coping, adaptive active coping styles involve confronting a problem directly and making plans to address the problem. This adaptation sequence of appraisal, coping, and adapting can be a daily automatic response like autopilot, or it can be disruptive. Life is the sum of constant adapting to sudden change or gradual evolution in our surroundings. Sometimes these changes are minor and we can adapt to them without even being aware. However, these changes can be severe sometimes, or even life threatening, or just threatening. When people must adapt to many changes of varying magnitude, either serially or all at once, the ease and success of adjustment decreases and the adaptation becomes increasingly difficult. If the amount of the adjustment required is large enough, it may render the individual unable to cope and lead to severe consequences. Thank you so much, work life warriors.